So my name is Saraiku, and I help students succeed in school, college, and life utilizing the SPICES approach that is embedded in our programs and services for a nonprofit organization called MAPS for College. Students receive the knowledge, skills, and resources to help them not only graduate from high school, but also go to college, as well as graduate from college and find a job. In particular, I provide a path for students to discover their purpose in life, overcome daily obstacles, and help people fulfill their visions and purposes, as well as uphold their human value and significance for themselves and others. So it's like the fundamental components for humans to be full, to live a quality life. Just to tell you a little bit background about myself. So I have my PhD in education, and my bachelor's and master's is in human development. My areas of focus is humans. I love humans, I love studying humans, studying behavior. It's all about humans at the end of the day, right? And you know, I grew up in Los Angeles County. So I was born and raised in Los Angeles County, and I love LA. I love Hollywood, Disneyland. You know, it's full of diversity, it's full of fun, it's exciting, and growing up in Los Angeles was great. But I also saw something different. You know, I saw the natural disasters that have happened throughout my lifetime. I saw the disparity of wealth. You know, going to college, studying about capitalism, studying about different issues of the human components that are affecting us. We know that wealth, poverty is a problem, especially homelessness. And because of that, we have so much anger, we have so much desire for change. And so what I also saw was wars, riots, violence. And not only do we see this on a systemic level, we also saw this on an individual level. We were harming ourselves. Domestic violence, child abuse, self-mutilation. I also saw young people joining gangs, damaging themselves. And where does that go? Where does that lead to? Right? It leads to more violence. It leads to their arrests and guns. And we know what guns could do, especially when a young person has access to it, right? Yeah, don't we hear this all the time? The shootings. It's constant. And so rather than what people are doing, they're constantly trying to do intervention methods or harming or you know, putting people in jail for different issues without going down and understanding what the problem is, right? We also know that United States has one of the highest prisons. We also know what drugs can do. We also know that racism exists even though it's socially constructed. And we see health problems, very apparent, as well as something very hidden. Some people hide it. And it's really interesting, growing up, this is something that has affected me, it's affected everybody, right? And I said to myself, what the heck is this world about? And why are we born? So I thought, you know what? I always desired for unity. For, you know, why do we have to judge because of skin color, because of income status, because of some kind of issue that we have that we created divisions? And I said, is it possible so we can reunite and restore each other? Or was this just a dream? Is this fake? So my dream has always been for unification, that through communities that we can collaborate and work together. I believed in shared values, shared vision, where rather than pitting against each other, we come together and help each other and support each other. And so, you know, what I wanted was a sense of community where people did social good and made a transformative impact for everyone. And so, this is not my generation is Generation X, but the millennial generation believes in the same thing too. And when I shared my vision with people, what do people say? Wake up, come to reality, It's not going to exist. You can't have this, you can't make this happen because look at the world as it is. But here's the thing, we all have a vision. And if we don't have an end goal, what's the purpose of living if we can't even fulfill what we want to fulfill? So I held on to my mission and my vision. But in the back of my mind, I said, is this vision possible? Right? You're all sitting here today and you all want to help people. Right? You help yourself, you help others. Is this vision possible? I'm standing in front of mental health providers, people who have been labeled with a mental illness, trying to get them to recover. And we're doing this over and over again. So I want to share with you my vision in working with one student, my first student. His name is Nai. As you know, the name is changed. But with permission, I used his photo. I don't know if you can tell by his picture, he is smiling. He actually took a selfie photo of himself in 2007 after he graduated, right? So he's smiling, he's happy. Isn't it great to have happy young people? But when I worked with him, he was not the happy person. He was homeless, he was hopeless, he was hungry, he didn't have a dad. He had a learning disability, physical disability, and let me tell you, if you say you are in the United States, in India, you know that the untouchables are the untouchables. In the United States, the untouchables are the homeless youth. Not only was he had these issues, he was African American, Asian American, Native American, and white. You know, you just put all four together, and you're just a problem in itself, right? It's like, who are you? I don't know. I'm everything. He was also overweight, had acne. I guess that's a teenage issue, right? Not only did he have that, he was angry, bitter, just not full of life. He would have that numb look, that hopeless look, angry. Academically, he was struggling, C's, D's, and F's. At school, people thought he was lazy. So you hear this in school. What's wrong with these lazy African American students? Sleeping in class, not coming to class. And so I thought of myself, I said, you know what, there's something more. There's something more. He had a lack of commitment. He actually told me he had no desire to finish school and drop out and work at McDonald's. And I looked at him and I said, don't you dare do that, right? And I thought to myself, we need a catalyst. We need a catalyst. If I wasn't there to help him at that moment in time, he would have been a high school dropout, and he would be another statistics out on the street again. And in 2007, after he graduated from high school, so we helped him get out of high school, this is what he said. You gave me the comfort knowing that everything was going to be all right. It taught me possibilities of having a future or any area that I liked instead of a minimum wage job. It made me feel great that I could achieve whatever I wanted to achieve instead of turning to another outlet, going on the street. It put me on a secure path of not doing drugs or detouring from my objective. With Sarai, you came in and worked with me, supplied food for me, teaching me slowly to gain my confidence and trust. It really, really helped a lot. I can't explain it. You know, with the learning disability, with the physical disability, things that have been pitted against him over and over again, he's in college, he's ready to transfer for a 4-year, he's researching with the professor and creating a prototype for his arm with his hand, and he's mentoring the next group of students because since you mentored me, I'm mentoring someone else. And I thought to myself, if that could happen with one student, I thought to myself, could I help more?